And we're live. Hello. Sorry about the delay. Just this time, it was because, well, as you can see from the title, I got a new controller for my Switch 2. However, I didn't actually get around to setting it up. Nothing quite like chocolate milk. Hey there. Chat's a little delayed. It... Okay, I was gonna be very annoyed if I had to, like, sink down to the bottom. I don't know if I necessarily would have rage quit, but, like... I do not know how to swim in this game. And I don't think you can anyways. It's doing all right. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna do one thing really quick that'll help with like a future. That'll like save me a bit of a headache. I've covered them before. In fact, I know... Huh. Just realized that my overlay is kind of like covering things up. Okay, so just to let you know, I've talked about them in a video before. Like, although I'm not going to be covering them until like late December. Like, I'm actually leaning towards like scaling back video production to once every 2 months for 2 reasons. First of all, it allows me to like do fact checking, and second, well, honestly, it kind of feels less stressful having to like make a video once every 2 months. More relaxing, like I don't feel pressured as much. Also, it would mean that I would be up for tackling darker topics more. Like, I'm still going to... make, like, videos like John Del Raz every now and then, but... still... I'm not opposed to being the guy who covers the underlooked aspect of the VTubing sphere. Yeah, you could probably figure that one out. Yeah, you might have figured that one out. Like, there is one thing I had to scrap about that plan, unfortunately, but, well, that's because it's getting delayed. And honestly, it's my own fault, because let's just say that that's something I commissioned did not work out. Like, it's not like I got scammed, it's more like it just won't be complete in time. And it's my own fault because I underestimated how long it would take the artist. Like, hey, that's how. So that's how you get that banana. I do like the new frag tones. Would be a fun addition to the main games. Like, honestly, one thing that's kind of annoying is what I'm gonna do after Akuma, since, well... I am looking for ideas, it's just that at the moment, I don't know how I can get it to show on both, and also I'm not really sure I would want to, since Twitch currently has it against their TOS. Like, I think it's stupid that they don't allow you to have chats from multiple sites on there, and I'm pretty sure everyone else does. Like, I actually think it would be better for the site overall, since it would encourage people to, like, stream on Twitch in addition to another site. Like, I imagine that there's tons of people who would stream on YouTube that would also stream on Twitch if they could show chats from both sites. Like, that's a change I would implement if I somehow became the CEO of Twitch. You wanna know what other change I'd add to Twitch if I became CEO? I'd like publicize the reason streamers get banned. Like, if I had been in charge, or Dr. Disrespect's ban would not have been a mystery for so long. Like, it would have been outed like day one. You wanna know what I would have found really damn funny if it had actually happened? If Twitch had permabanned the quartering. I don't think I need a YouTube mod yet, but we'll wait and see. I'll try and see if I can get something working for when I start Legend ZA. Honestly, a burger sounds like a great idea for dinner tonight. Like, I actually have some of those, like, pre-made burgers. Admittedly, that's not a very helpful... Yeah, but, like, still... Honestly, that guy I just consider too disturbing to look into, like... I would say that guy falls into the horror cow territory, which is not something I want to really get into. I mean, if Cecil McFly approached me to do a video on Tigre and, like, it was on her channel, okay, sure, but you're never gonna see a video on me. On my channel where I do this. I guess for his Discord I could use my alt account, but obviously I'm not going to do it right now. Like, if I pulled it up on stream, obviously I would, like, give away who I am, and, well, on the alt account, and, well, that kind of defeats the point, since... Let's just say it's not the type I use for just, like, finding other messages. actually fried some apple fritters today. Let's just say that things are gonna, that the priest outfit's probably not gonna be showing up again in a video of mine for a while. For reasons you'll understand. You know that episode of SpongeBob SquarePants where SpongeBob, like, has houses made out of meat? Has that, like, how explores alternatives to his pineapple house? I'm getting vibes in the same vein from that, with that house. It's not so much that it's still open, rather it's like down to two choices. Like, it depends on someone else's actions. Like, it's not so much like if they do anything stupid, rather, it's actually not the subject that I'm talking about. It's more like a, if someone else makes a video that I feel does a better job than I could do sort of thing. You get what I'm saying? I will say that one of the two people who I could make a video on is Nux Taku. The person whose video I'm waiting on the other hand, is this guy called Nicandros. I think he's the editor for Chud Logic. Like, it really depends on what he puts in his video. Like, there are some things I already know I want to cover, like, for example, the fact that Nux hits some really insane takes related to, like, the Epstein files, for example, like, He's saying that, like, the people who want them released want them to be released uncensored, which is objectively not true. And he's even saying that, like, that's a stance no one has taken. Like, the only people who have taken that stance are, like, the people who want to see the contents for a different reason other than, like, knowing who Epstein was buddying with. Like, they want to see the videos, those uncensored is what I'm saying. And those people are the type that are probably on, like, certain lists. Like, Nick Andrews has stated he's doing a video on Nuxtaku, so, like, if it there is one thing I suspect he won't cover, but, like, if he covered, like, most of the same points I cover, I would feel like I'm just copying him, so I guess I'm gonna wait. I need to wait to see what he winds up covering. I do have to wonder what that banana burger was made of, what the banana in the banana burger was referring to. Like, it looked like it was banana mixed with beef, but I've never heard of a burger doing that. Like, I know in Alabama they have slug burgers where they mix, like, breadcrumbs with burgers, which honestly does not sound like a terrible idea. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, there are meatballs that do that. I guess it's one of those things where I'd have to say, where I'd have to try it before I'd said if it was a good idea or not. And honestly, it's not like it's the worst idea I've heard for a burger. And it would be very, it's actually something that if anything, it would strike me as being boring if I didn't like it, because, well, it's just more bread as opposed to, like, it's just more bun as opposed to, like something new. Thinking about what I want for Christmas, and one of the things I'm seriously considering on, like, the list I get for ideas that my parents can get me, one of those, like, Ninja Creamies. I say this because I've always considered, like, soft serve to be, like, the more exotic, I guess you could say, option of the two, in compared to, like, regular ice cream, since with regular ice cream I can just, like, go to the store and buy some, but with, like, soft serve on the other hand, I can only get that at, like, certain places. Like, it's a lot harder to get a hold of compared to, like, just buying, like some dryers or something. That's a good addition. like 1 or 2 video games I do want. Fantasy Life, the girl who left through time on the Switch. Like, I know it's available for other platforms, but there are just some franchises which I cannot help but see as, like, Nintendo ones, if you get what I'm saying. Like, Rev is actually the other person I would do a video on if I didn't do a video on Nux. Like, the reason, like, I've actually been going back and forth between Nux and Rev, actually, because, like, one of them does something that feels really egregious, like, for example, with Nux, it was basically most stuff like him, like his Epstein Files statement. Then you have had Rev blatantly lying about Nexus mods, like claiming they made, like, a political statement, which, and by removing that skin of Trump for Marvel Rivals, which, aside from the fact that they're a UK company, so it's not the same thing as if, oh, say, Microsoft had removed like, a Donald Trump Minecraft skin. They also removed skins for Joe Biden and Barack Obama in the same, when they banned the Trump skin. So, if anything, it was a move that was anti-democratic as opposed to, like, anti-Trump. Although there's an honorable mention in for Rev in that he's seen an accusation against and from Destiny that Hassan Piker had sex with, like, a minor, apparently. Now, I'm not saying that, like that isn't that's something we should immediately disregard. Like, if that is true, I would absolutely want Hassan called out for that. But I feel that, like, Destiny is not exactly a reliable source in this case. Since, well, he's currently facing his own allegations. So it feels more like, well, ooh, look, a distraction, as opposed to, like, him calling out genuine injustice. Like, I feel that if you're going to mention it, at the very least, you should mention the accusations Destiny is facing. And, well, there's some things that are more embarrassing that I'd like to see Rev react to, of, like, try and defend himself on. Let's just say that I'm probably going to want someone to read some tweets with me. For this video. Yes, that is correct. Honestly, if things had played out differently, I actually wouldn't be making a video on a VTuber at all. Like, if like my John De La Roz video had been like my most successful to date, had actually done better than my Akuma Miko video, I probably actually would have made my output more varied. Like, one thing I actually did seriously consider doing as, like, lead into Metroid Prime 4's release was a rewrite of the plot of the game that put Metroid on hibernation, Metroid Other M. Like, if you don't know, that game was actually, like, really critically panned. I don't think it sold terribly, but I'm not exactly sure how Briley would feel, and honestly, it would be more like I'd want someone who could do, like, a funny voice as opposed to, like... It's like, also, Briley's kind of the person I go to more for, like, a serious reading if I don't feel like doing it myself. Like, I'd want someone who's better at, like, a funny voice as opposed to, like... Wait. That's odd. If it wasn't, like, covering something up... What's the point of that slime? Well, I'd want, like, another woman. I'd want, like, either a woman or someone who's really good at doing a feminine voice. And I don't think my mom would exactly be willing to read tweets of the particular subject matter. So, she's not an option. Never mind the fact that I'd kind of rather not have this be how she learns that I'm a VTuber from. Like, I want it to be something at least interesting. Like, for example, I do a charity drive. There is one other video, which I'm not going to mention because I'm still pondering it, but she would actually be perfect for involvement in that because she drinks a lot of tea and it would involve that. That's all I'll say. It would relate to something I've mentioned, but I'm not going to say what because, well, I want to see if anyone would guess based just on that hint. I mentioned it in a previous video, not in this stream. Not IRL. Like, I do have some female coworkers, but, like... And I do have some people I went to high school that I still have... Some woman that I went to high school with that I'm still friends with on Facebook, but... I don't, like, have, like, a lot of female friends. Or a lot of friends IRL in general. Honestly, that was one of the reasons why I became a VTuber. Like, I just wanted to meet people. I've also never been in a relationship, so at the very least, you can know that you won't have to deal with any stories of... with any, like, toxic exes of mine. I'll keep that open if nothing else, in mind if nothing else comes up. You wanna know kind of wish I could go back in time and change. You know that clip of the quartering peen in his basement? I kind of wish I could have slightly edited the outcome of that so that, like, instead of walking on the... doing it on the side, he'd, like, actually do the same thing DSP did. And, like, while we couldn't see him actually doing the act, he would be on camera. Because, well, I actually got curious, so I asked DeepSeek about it, and as I suspected, it's very likely he would have gotten a permaban on Twitch if that had happened, which, can you imagine in just, like, the hilarity and the memes that would have spouted from that? Like, that's already something that people won't let him live down. Like, I actually think that if he had gotten permabanned over that, he would have actually had to quit his YouTube just because of how many people would constantly use that as an own against him. Would have been funny that... So I do think I figured out what the other game I want to start alongside Pokemon Legends ZA is going to be. Like, I did say Hi-Fi Rush did win that poll, but I actually thought about it, and I realized that there's a better game that would... I live in this... Darkside Phil, I think, is going to be like one of those creators who... unfortunately does not know when to quit. Like, here's the thing. I actually think that he probably could actually be really successful if he wasn't so damn lazy. You want to know why I say that? Maximilian Dude had a very similar start, but he actually puts in effort, and he's got a channel that's got a sub count in the millions. Like, DSP could... if DSP was to just, like, start editing his stuff down... at least, it's like, just open DaVinci Resolve. Hell, do a stream where he edits, where he does video editing or two. And, like, let people donate to choose highlights. If he did that, I actually think he'd probably be able to, like, earn enough that he wouldn't constantly be begging for donations. Unless, like, he picked up some, like, really expensive habits, like drinking in multiple high-priced bottles of whiskey per stream. That sort of thing. Like, the reason I don't edit my streams down is, well, honestly, if I have to choose between hearing my voice while editing a scripted video or hearing my voice while editing my streams, I'm gonna use the one that requires me to hear less of my own voice, which is my own streams. Like, I decided against... I will play it in the future, but I decided against it because, well... while it probably would actually be the length that I need, it's actually... I want to play something that's more... that's, like, closer to Metroid Prime 4 in genre. It's sort of like a warm-up. Like, if Nintendo had shadow dropped Metroid Prime 2 Echoes and Metroid Prime 3 Corruption remasters, I'd actually probably be playing one of those right now instead of Battle Network. I actually am surprised they didn't do that. I mean, admittedly, now that I think about it, a remaster or remake of Prime Hunters would actually make the most sense, since that's the game that introduced Stylux, who's the main villain of Prime 4. But I suspect there's going to be at least some follow-up to... there's going to be at least some plot references in Prime 2 and 3. To Prime 2 and 3 and beyond. Actually, I wouldn't need to emulate Prime 3. I actually have the original game for the Wii. Like, the only reason I'm not doing it as well, it would feel odd to jump from Metroid Prime Remastered to Metroid Prime 3. To not play Metroid Prime 2. Since, like, that's the only game I don't really have a means to, like, play without, like, actually pirating. I had it for the GameCube originally, but, well, my mom idiotically convinced me to sell that. She does mean well, it's just that is something I do, like, regret not saying no. Oh, especially since, well, one of the games that he like convinced me to sell for like a below average price was Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, which, well, if you look up a price of that on the GameCube, you'll know why I regret. I might have to look into emulation anyway, since, well, I don't really know how to stream, like, DS games. Like, GBA games... I could either get a Game Boy Advance and play a GBA player for the GameCube, and I actually have been kind of wanting to get, like, a GameCube to, like, start a retro collection, but... there isn't really, like, an equivalent counterpart for the DS. Or 3DS, for that matter. I should probably buy some apple juice. Like, as I mentioned on the community page, the next game I'm gonna play to replace Bananza is gonna be Metro Last Light, for the simple reason that, well, it is closer to Metroid Prime I'm 4 than Hi-Fi Rush would be in terms of genre. Also, I'm more familiar with it. Like, that being said, and I've decided that, like, after I finish Legend ZA and Metroid Prime 4, assuming they're, like, roughly around the same time, like, I have no idea how long they'll actually take me to finish. I'm probably gonna play a modded Stardew Valley and Chibi Robo on the game. Like the GameCube game. Like, I'll use the NSO release for Chibi Robo. Like, if I finish Chibi Robo before I finish Stardew Valley, and since I'm going to be using mods, I suspect that'll happen pretty quickly. For Stardew Valley, not Chibi Robo. Like, I'm not saying I would be opposed to playing modded Chibi Robo, it's just I don't know if there are any mods for Chibi Robo. So it's not a matter of I don't want to, it's I don't know if I can. I'll play Hi-Fi Rush if I, like, finish Chibi Robo before Stardew Valley. Which probably will happen. So that poll did determine in a future game I'll play, it's just not the immediate future. So technically I am abiding by the results. I should probably increase my health. There's another reason why I want to play Metro Last Light instead of Hi-Fi Rush. I did pick up some Kvass, and honestly, it would feel more appropriate to play a game set in like a country that actually drinks the stuff. And if you don't know what Kvass is, basically like it's a Eastern European equivalent to soda. I don't know if there's alcoholic Kvass. Maybe. Yeah, there is. I'd need to actually do research, but... I mean... There's... So that's what those are called. So in better news, Jack Doherty got arrested, which... I don't think anyone's actually going to, like, stand up for the guy, and I'm not just saying that, like, because, like, I think he's a nuisance, even though I'm pretty sure the majority of the internet feel the same way. Like, I actually don't think his fans are passionate enough to really, like, defend him. I'm not just saying that because, like, I think they're starting to mature. I mean, some of them probably are, but, like, I say that because, well, I actually looked at his views, and his channel's actually kind of dying. Like, he has 15 million subs, but at most of the videos he gets can barely break 200K. Oh, cool! I got all 3 bananas on the one go. That's actually pretty sweet. And mind you, this is even with stuff which you'd think would get people who aren't, like, fans of his to click just out of pure curiosity. Like, I don't know if you recognize the name World of T-Shirts. He's a pretty big lolcow, but Jack has actually had World of T-Shirts in some of his videos, yet strangely enough, that is not translated into, like views. Like, I guess, like, honestly, if I was Jack, I'd just take this as a sign I'm like, you know what, I'm done, and just, like, start investing. Like, That's actually one of the things I'm gonna do when I start making money off of YouTube. Like, I'll like mix I'll like divide my income into three sources. Into three parts, rather. Or stuff that goes back into the channel, stuff that pays my living expenses, food and rent mostly. But I could also use it for like some fun stuff every now and then, and stuff I'll invest. I'm not sure what I'll invest in, like maybe passive income. I have always wondered what it would be like to own like one of those soda machines I see people make a bunch of money on it in YouTube Shorts. Maybe that could be something I do. Like, dream would be I move to somewhere that has no real income tax and buy a laundromat. And just like pay off my rent and like pay my and basically you live off the income from that. Like, honestly, I don't think I'm gonna, like, move outside the United States. It's like, I wouldn't be opposed to. Like, I have often wondered what it would be like if I moved to either Sweden or Ireland. Sweden mainly because, well, my dad's side actually is part Scandinavian, and like, I know that I'm part Finnish from his side, but I don't know which of the Scandinavian countries the other part of his family comes from. Like, I suspect that it's Swedish simply because my brother actually kind of looks like the stereotypical Swedish blonde man, but it could be Danish or Norwegian. From my mom's side of the family, on the other hand, I know that I've got both English and German heritage. I'm assuming it would be like Hanover or Prussia, not like I'm not related to like where Hitler came from, since, well, that's actually Austrian. Like, funny story, like, there's an episode of Treehouse of Horror where Springfield actually bans guns and, like, a bunch of, like, some villains come back as zombies. They actually correctly state that Kaiser Wilhelm II... They actually don't do the obvious but incorrect thing of having Hitler as the most evil German that ever lived. Like, you can certainly argue if Kaiser Wilhelm II deserves that title. Like, there were Nazis that were actually born in Germany. So I feel like you'll say Heinrich Himmler would be more deserving. But at the very least, they're applying it to someone who is actually eligible for the title. Oh, hey, banana. surprised Pauline isn't wearing shoes with this outfit. Was there, like, not a good pair of sneakers they could... Could they just... Was there, like... no design for sneakers that came to mind? Like, I mean, I get that they couldn't use, like, Skechers or Reebok or something, but surely there's got... It feels like they could have done more. I mean, hell, even sandals. Those are flip-flops would have been fine. You know, I can't help but find it interesting how, even though Mario is technically a spin-off of Donkey Kong, Mario is the more popular franchise. Like, you'd think, it's not to mention that, well, there's actually so much difference that, like, the two are practically a separate franchise at this point. Like, you'd think there'd be some overlay, like... I mean, overlap in at least the cast of characters. Like, I don't know, a few Toads would show up in this game. I'm surprised Donkey Kong didn't show up in Super Mario Odyssey. Like, they had Yoshi, so why not Donkey Kong? Hey. If I'm not mistaken, there are 2 more layers after this one. Ideally, what happens is we get to the halfway point of the next layer, then we finish the game on the next stream. Easily the most gold I've gained from one of these falls. You know, I know that there was no way you could, like, actually go... Oh, so that's what a 5-layer terrain level looks like. Let me actually look up what the... Unsurprisingly, the last layer is called Planet Core. I know that, and I have a way to destroy the concrete. It's just, it feels too obvious to use the Gorilla Bonanza move here. Oh, that's actually a pretty clever. Surprised there wasn't like a bonus golden layer or something. We're gonna mine gold for the rest of the stream, and well, there is actually a loophole, apparently. I did not mean to fall down that, actually, like... I think 10k gold is a good amount. I say this because I suspect we have another one of those grow tones to... I'm going to assume that won't affect stuff like false. That won't affect the false. And I was right. I could actually stop farming for gold here, but as I mentioned, I want to get it at least 10k. I'm not gonna farm more gold, rather this is just basically my way of not looking like a dick. If I need 10k, I'm hoping I don't need 50. Looks like I have to go back to the racing layer one last time. I mean, one more time. Good news is that since I get roughly 5 grand worth of gold per elephant banana old every time I use the elephant bananas on that trophy, I think that I only will need to use it once. Looks like I'm gonna have to do 2 resets. Oh well. I don't think Diddy or Dixie will mind, since they'll and I do reset the terrain. Also, it's they'd understand if I told them. I do have to wonder what things will be like in like 15, 20 years. Okay, why would they have... Huh. Not bad if I don't... DK says trans rights. This is actually a much more reason. I'm already this far along, so let's beat the level, then we'll call it a stream. Now I'm wondering if... You know, it's a pity Poppy Kong isn't working for Void Kong anymore, because it would be really damn funny if they made a reference to the Emperor's New Groove. Is it like a one-time thing, or can it use, like, grant multiple wishes? Because it seems to me like there's a very... Ironically, this actually makes it easier. If he'd, like, had those... Look, buddy, you could have just asked politely. If I just had a checkpoint right before this fight, I would have beaten him by now. And I mean this stage of the fight, not like... close one, but... You know what? I'm just gonna call it a stream here. I'll save beating Void Kong and the last layer for next stream, since I don't think it... Team, thanks for tuning in. I'm Andreas Rebel, and I'll see you on my next assignment. Later.